If you're spending more than an hour on administrative work every single day, you're potentially costing your business millions of dollars a year. I know because I was in this position 6 years ago, juggling multiple businesses and spending more time in my email than I had money coming in, until I discovered something pretty accidentally that changed my life. I hired a virtual executive assistant that took over all of my administrative work, all my email, my voicemail, my scheduling. 6 years later, my team and I have helped over 3,500 entrepreneurs hire virtual assistants. And so if you want to make more money, work less, and build a team that runs your business without you, then this video is for you. And speaking of that, the person that I hired originally was an executive assistant, and that is the most important first hire that you can make. If you click down below, I have the ultimate executive assistant hiring guide for you for free. And on that note, let's dive right in. All right, so first, it's super important to understand why doing administrative work is costing you millions of dollars in your business and in your life. So this all goes back to a concept that I learned in business school back at Pepperdine University in Malibu called opportunity cost. So opportunity cost, simply put, means that when you choose to do one thing, you are foregoing or giving up doing something else. This applies to all areas of your life, and it's something that I think about all the time. Let me give you a very simple example. I used to coach a lot of real estate agents. So as a real estate agent, the highest and best use of your time is going out and talking to potential buyers and sellers. That's it. Nothing even comes close. A lot of studies have been done that for real estate agents, they earn between $500 and $1,000 an hour or more doing that activity. I want you to think about for your business what the highest and best use of your time is. Any hour that you spend doing anything else, email, voicemail, scheduling, all of those other administrative tasks, you are earning the amount that you could pay someone else to do that activity. I'm gonna give you one other thing that's gonna really hit home for you, because I know what you might be thinking. All right, Danny, what if I have extra time? What if I don't have any deals right now? Or what if I just like doing administrative things? Well, here's the thing. I want you to think about all of the other stuff you could be doing that's not business related that you're giving up on. That's opportunity cost as well. You could be having fun with your family. If you have kids, you could be going to more kids games or spending time with them. And those activities are actually priceless. So once you understand this concept of opportunity cost, and the mindset shift you need to make with that is that you should be doing the activities that provide you and your business the most value, the highest dollar producing activities that you could do, and you should outsource or leverage as much of the other stuff as you can so that you don't have to do it. When you do that, what happens is your business begins to run on autopilot, and let's talk about the simple virtual assistant system that you can use to make that happen. Now, as I mentioned, I discovered this system about 6 years ago when I accidentally hired my first virtual assistant. Over those last 6 years, I've documented absolutely everything we've done so that I could share it with you and shortcut your way to success. So here's the simple system to make sure that you can hire someone, a virtual assistant, to take care of all of the admin tasks for you so you can focus on the high-level tasks, grow your business, explode your profit, and get your time back. So step one that I want you to do is a time audit. So for the next week, I know this is going to be painful, and I used to do this when I was an attorney all the time. I know it sucks, but you only got to do it for a week. I'm going to tell you why you can't just do it for a day also. So for a week, I want you to just grab a pad of paper and write down everything that you actually do every 15 minutes at work. Like I said, I know it's going to be painful, but just do it. The rewards will be worth it. So after you document everything that you do, and I want you to do it for a week, because if you just do it for a day, you might be missing out on stuff that you do later in the week. After you do that, I want you to color code your items. Go through that week's worth of stuff and color code. Take a green highlighter. Anything that's money-making activities, things that grow your business, meetings with potential partners, sales calls, negotiations, all of those high-level activities that really you are the best at, that you have a superpower in, I want you to highlight those in green. and I want you to take a look at the list. Everything else that's not highlighted in green are things that you should be outsourcing to an amazing virtual assistant that can take over all of that stuff. And I just want you to take a second and imagine what your life would be like if you didn't have to deal with any of those things. And I want you to know that that can be your reality very quickly. And by the way, if you want to explore what that would look like, just hit the link below to go to All Star VAs and book a consultation with us. We'll actually do a time audit for you. We'll take a look at that. If you send it in to us, we'll review it. We'll tell you exactly what you need to do and how to hire a virtual assistant that's cost effective, that can take over all of that other stuff. Okay, so once you've done that and you have all of those things written out that you are not going to be doing soon, what you will do next is create standard operating procedures around all of those items, or SOPs for short. So the key to this is creating amazing systems that are going to run your business instead of you running your business. Now, system is just a fancy word for checklist. So everything that you have to do, what you want to do is create a checklist around those items so that your your virtual assistant, can take that over and do it for you. Now, here's a quick hack. If you hire your virtual assistant now, you can actually have that person create all those systems for you. But if you want to do it ahead of time, you could do that as well. And what I mean by this is a couple things. Number one, you want to make sure that you actually document what it is that you do. So for example, let's say the way that you send an email, the way you handle emails when they come in, how you sort them. What you're going to want to do is write all of that out. Now, there's an AI hack for this, because what you could do is just go to ChatGPT and literally just dictate it, and ChatGPT will create the system for you. Just tell it you want to create a standard operating procedure around the way that you do email, or the way that you do voicemails, or the way that you set up Zoom calls for your business. Whatever it is that you do, you want to create a system. Also, a great thing to do is create a video for things that you do. So let's say we'll take email again as an example, how you sort email. All you have to do is take a screen share video. You could do that in QuickTime or Loom or whatever software you use, and just video yourself actually going through and sorting your email. That will be a great thing to put into your standard operating procedure. There's a couple really cool things about doing this procedure and going through this exercise. Number one, you're going to have something that you can give to your virtual assistant who can take that over and who can run it. But number two, what you're really creating with your business is a saleable asset. Whether or not you ever want to sell your business is actually irrelevant, because now what you have is a business that's built on systems. If something were to happen to you, if you want to take a month or 6 month or a year vacation, you have systems that someone can come in and run your business with. I actually have an interesting story for you. I recently was talking to an entrepreneur who bought a roofing business. And I said, hey, tell me, and we were talking about hiring virtual assistants for his roofing business. And I said, tell me about the systems that are in place. And he said, well, the guy that owns the roofing company has a cell phone and he's got an Instagram account. And that's it. And I said, well, how does he get clients? He goes, he just calls through his cell phone, or he goes on Instagram, or he visits past clients. I said, well, is that documented anywhere? And they said, no. I said, so what did you actually buy? And they couldn't answer that question, because if someone goes to buy your business, what they're buying is your list of clients typically and the systems that operate your business. If you don't have that in place, you don't really have something that you can either pass on to someone, sell to someone, or have someone run for you, again, while you take vacations, take some time off, spend time with your family. So it's very important to create all of these systems now, or better yet, have your virtual assistant create those for you. And again, the way that you can do that is just book a call with us. It's a free consultation. We'll do a deep dive into your business and we'll help you create all of these things. Because over the last 6 years, I've documented all of this, and we actually have standard operating procedures for almost every position on your virtual assistant team that you could think of. All right, so what does that perfect virtual assistant team look like in your business so that it can run without you and make you money while you sleep? Well, it starts with the executive assistant role. That is the most important hire you can make first, because that person will run your entire business. Second, what you want is a social media manager. let's put it this way. In today's day and age, if you're not on social media, then you're really missing out on potentially millions of dollars in revenue. Whatever your social media platform is, you could make YouTube videos, Instagram, short form, long form, whatever it is, you need a social media manager because you can drive a lot of leads and clients into your business through social media. Third is an inside salesperson. So an inside salesperson's job is to actually set appointments for you or convert sales if your sales process warrants that. Now, if you sell something that can be sold through a direct link, you don't need an inside salesperson, that's okay as well. The next thing that you're gonna need is a customer service person calling old clients or doing fulfillment on your product or service. Now, there are a lot of other roles you can hire, such as video editor, database manager, appointment closer, fulfillment executives, and everything in between. I don't want you to get overwhelmed by this though. What you need to focus on is making your first hire, and again, that is your executive assistant. You can actually download my free Ultimate Executive Assistant Hiring Guide down below. Even if you already have an executive assistant, this is a great document that can actually help you optimize that role. After you hire that first person, the executive assistant, you can build out and scale from there as you become more and more profitable and as your business starts to automate and systematize even more. All right, so let's quickly talk about some of the key mistakes that I see people making when building out a virtual assistant team. The first mistake and the most important is hiring any position other than an executive assistant first. I know I talked about this early on in the video, but an executive assistant is kind of like your quarterback or your general manager. It's the glue that holds your entire business together. A lot of people will come to us and say, you know, Danny, I want to hire an inside salesperson or social media manager right away. The problem with that is that then you start managing all of your virtual assistants and your entire team instead of having one person manage everyone else. So the order of hiring is very, very important. You want to hire that executive assistant first. And again, if you want to get my free guide, the ultimate guide on how to hire an executive assistant, grab that down below. And actually, even if you already have an executive assistant, you can use this to optimize their work, their schedule, their tasks, and all of that other stuff. So that's really one of the biggest mistakes I see is people hiring that way. The second biggest mistake I see is people trying to do this alone and by themselves. So remember, the highest and best use of your time is what? To do those dollar productive activities. And so if you spend time hiring, training, overseeing, managing, and all of those things, that's time away from what you should be doing. So if you try to do this yourself, which you can and hire people, you're gonna be spending loads of time doing that. I know because I did that early on. When you work with a company like ours, All Star VAs, we're gonna do all of that stuff for you, make it super simple, give you all the SOPs, train your people, give you everything you need to implement that system immediately. So that's really the second mistake that I see. And then the third mistake I see with hiring virtual assistants is really not being a leader. So when you take on an executive assistant, let's say virtual assistant with us, you become a leader. And I want to differentiate leader from manager. I hate the word manager because really now what you're doing is leading. As the leader, your job is to cast the vision for your company. Your job is to make sure that you're working on those high-level tasks while your executive assistant is doing everything else. Your job is to keep focused on those tasks. And so you have to exhibit those leadership traits. You have to exhibit what you want the rest of your company to look like. And so to do that, you know, for example, I do a lot of personal development, a lot of training events, a lot of leadership things. And so if you want to really run a business and make sure that you're making the most amount of money that you can while working the least amount, then you want to really invest in yourself and your leadership training. One of the things we do at All Star VAs that really sets us apart is we have over 20 hours of coaching and training every week for not only our clients, but also for our virtual assistants. And so when you jump on those calls and you become a part of our ecosystem and our community, you really step into that leadership role in order to grow your business to the fullest. All right, so ultimately, what are we after here? What does your business look like when you grow this team of virtual assistants, including an executive assistant, social media manager, inside salespeople, customer service folks? Well, what happens is that you get to do the fun stuff that you got into your business to do. Your business grows and scales, you increase profit. So put it another way, you make more money, you work less, and you have more fun. And if that's what you want to do, then again, I just want to invite you to book a call with us. We'll chat about your business, give you a free audit. We'll give you any of those standard operating procedures and guides that you need and show you exactly how you can make this happen. And if you're now convinced that you got to hire a virtual assistant, in addition to booking that call, check out this video where I go over the step-by-step process of how to hire a virtual assistant.